Hey, that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. 14 indicted. Pennsylvania Avenue, Gilmore Homes Projects. Is niggas surprised? Is anybody surprised, man? That's the question I got. Who's surprised? Who's shocked? Who's shocked, man? Straight up. Y'all ain't see it, man. I ain't got nothing really to say, but niggas should have known that was coming. That's it, and that's all. You know what I mean? I basically just went live to say that. Like, niggas should have known that was coming, yo. And not even because of Sosa. You feel me? Even though, who knows? But what I'm saying is, they can't afford for no more leaks. You understand what I'm saying? Nah. So niggas should have known once that paperwork dropped that indictments was coming fast. Any investigation that they was working on in that area, niggas should have been fully prepared that yo, they coming any day now. If I was outside, if I was down there, and all that shit just happened, I'd have been ready for that shit. They'd have hit my house and locked me up and got nothing. That shit crazy. That's some wild shit. Yeah, I say that. I ain't gonna lie though. I never understood how niggas sell drugs in front of the police anyway, to be honest. Like I never understood that, yo. I can't do that. Like yo, fuck, I ain't got a computer. Shit. Yeah, but that's all that was about though, y'all. That's all that was about. They can't afford no more potential leaks of no information. So the people down there should have been aware that if there was any investigation going on, that yeah, they was moving fast. What's his name? Boykins? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, he was in the paperwork. So let's see who was in the paperwork. That's what I'm saying, yo. Like, yeah, he was in the paperwork. Let's see who else was in the paperwork. Sosa said he ain't know y'all. Yeah, Sosa said he ain't know short. I don't even know if Sosa had anything to do with this. But what I'm saying is people down there should have been aware that something was gonna happen. As far as, any investigations that was being conducted down there, they should have known that indictments was coming fast. Yeah, for real. Is that the person they said at the head of it? But they might have been prepared because they ain't getting no money.
More?
That's really the main goal, yo. The main goal is to hide the money when it come down to shit like that. Um, I don't know. Let's see.
From my previous company, and so I just read.
Let's see who names in there.
More, endangering the safety and welfare of that community. To provide additional information about this joint operation. Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. Today we are announcing federal charges against 14 defendants who brazenly operated an open-air drug market in West Baltimore, endangering the safety and welfare of that community. To provide additional information about this joint operation, I am joined by Jonathan Earl, Assistant Special Agent in Charge for ATF Baltimore, Josh Barnhart, Assistant Special Agent in Charge for the IRS Criminal Investigation, Washington, D.C. Field Office, Clint Fuchs, the U.S. Marshal for the District of Maryland, Jesse Halverson, Deputy State's Attorney for Baltimore
you just
City,
checked?
Kevin Jones, Deputy Commissioner for the
That's what
Baltimore
I'm saying,
Police
yo.
Department.
Like, niggas should have known. They might have did know. That's what I'm saying, because they ain't get no money. They only got 15,000. I told you that's the goal. An ideal situation is to be able to put up everything. But if you can only put up the money, at least you got a fighting chance.
And Amal Awad, the police chief for the Anne Arundel County Police Department. On July 29th, we arrested 14 men, all of whom are from Baltimore City. Specifically, we successfully arrested Walter Epps, Luther Amos, Antoine Benjamin.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's crazy.
Wendell Boykins Jr., Davon Brown, Zyquin Coleman, Xavier Cooper, Antonio Curtis, Keith Freisen, James Keene, Mayan Medley, and Gregory Alexander Partlow. Two additional individuals, Antonio Mason and Darian Whitaker, are currently in state custody on related charges, but were also indicted as part of this investigation and will be brought into federal custody in the near future. As alleged in the charging documents, these individuals conspired to distribute and possess with intent to distribute controlled substances, including fentanyl, heroin, and crack cocaine. These defendants allegedly operated open-air drug street shops in the 1800 blocks of North Cary and Woodyear Streets, commonly referred to as Penn North in West Baltimore. Specifically, according to the indictment, the co-conspirators operated these street shops or open-air markets where they sold narcotics, including fentanyl, heroin, and crack cocaine. In December of 2025, ATF launched a special operation to investigate this group and to bring them to justice. Through surveillance, investigators determined that Epps served as an overseer of one of the street shops and that he worked alongside Amos, Boykins, Brown, Curtis, Keene, Medley, Partlow, and other co-conspirators each of whom held supervisory roles in the operation. Their responsibilities included coordinating drug sales, resupplying subordinates with drugs, collecting money from subordinates and then counting it after the sales, and in some cases, conducting the drug sales themselves. The co-conspirators also used residences, including Amos's residence and other residences nearby, to store or stash larger quantities of the drugs. During the investigation, on some occasions, the co-conspirators unknowingly sold drugs to a confidential informant or an undercover investigator. The confidential informant and the undercover investigator ordered larger quantities of distribution-level quantities of fentanyl, heroin, or crack cocaine. This operation allowed us to gather the evidence that we needed to bring the charges that we are announcing to you today. And ultimately, during Wednesday's coordinated arrest and search warrant takedown, ATF, the U.S. Marshals, and BPD, along with the valuable assistance of Baltimore County and Anne Arundel County Police Departments, executed 20 federal search warrants at various residences and stash locations throughout Baltimore City and in Baltimore County that resulted in the seizures of numerous firearms, ammunition, cell phones, thousands of dollars in cash, and quantities of cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana, or I should say at this time, suspected cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana. In addition, 3 individuals are charged in the state and Baltimore City with drug-related charges arising from these drug and gun seizures. Both the federal and the state charges are the result of tireless investigative work. This operation and the arrests highlight our continued commitment to holding individuals accountable who endanger the welfare of others. Illicit drug activity, whether in an open-air market or elsewhere, threatens public safety and has no place in our communities. I also want to emphasize that these are just allegations. Each defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. I want to commend the agents and the officers from ATF, the U.S. Marshals, IRSCI, BPD, Baltimore County Police Department, and Anne Arundel County Police Department, as well as the prosecutors in my office and our partners at the state's attorney's office for their dedication and coordination. This kind of collaboration is essential to identifying the most dangerous individuals and building strong cases. The U.S. Attorney's Office here in Maryland is committed to collaborating with our law enforcement partners to hold those who traffic drugs accountable and to eradicate criminal activity in Baltimore and throughout Maryland. And this case is just one example. We will continue every day to work side by side with our
they should have known that, man. They can't afford to jeopardize. See, they did this. They probably would have continued investigating if it wasn't for that leak. Being as though that leak came out, they had to do something. And that's what this was. Well, hopefully for them guys, maybe, they move fast and they ain't get everything they probably could have got if they'd have continued investigating. But niggas should have been prepared for this. What's up, Charles? Money Mix, what it do?
And deliver justice for the communities that we serve. Thank you. I will now turn it over to ATF's Special Agent in Charge, Jonathan Earl, for additional remarks.
Good morning, everyone.
Dang.
I'm Jonathan Earl, Assistant Special Agent in Charge of ATF Baltimore Field Division. I'd like to start with a few thank yous. First, the U.S. Attorney's Office for your support through this entire investigation. To the Baltimore Police Department for being a partner throughout this entire investigation. The State's Attorney's Office for Baltimore City, U.S. Marshal Service, the Internal Revenue Service, Baltimore County Police, and Anne Arundel County Police. I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder today with our federal, state, and local partners. Investigations like this do not happen because of one agency. They happen when dedicated professionals come together with a shared commitment to protecting our community. This investigation began when ATF's Crime Gun Enforcement Team used ballistic evidence, crime gun data, investigative information, which together make up crime gun intelligence to identify emerging pattern of violence in the Gilmore Homes neighborhood of West Baltimore. Together with our federal, state, and local partners, we surged resources and determined the cause of this concentrated violence. This joint investigation revealed a drug trafficking organization operating within this community, one that was not only distributing dangerous drugs, but fueling gun violence. After a month-long collaborative effort, 14 individuals have been charged with federal drug conspiracy and trafficking charges. Just this week, ATF, Baltimore City Police, Anne Arundel County Police, U.S. Marshals, the Baltimore County Police executed 12 federal arrest warrants and 20 federal search warrants. During the execution of the warrants, agents seized 7 firearms, 32 cell phones, approximately 1 kilogram of suspected cocaine, several hundred gel caps of suspected fentanyl, 1,500 pills and hundreds of grams of suspected fentanyl, over 6 pounds of marijuana, and approximately $15,000 in cash. Our actions send a clear message. If you choose to flood our neighborhoods with drugs, illegally possess firearms, or use violence to terrorize our communities, ATF will identify you, investigate you, and hold you accountable. We will use every investigative tool available, from crime gun intelligence and forensic technology to traditional investigative techniques, to keep our communities safe. But today is more than arrests and seizures. Every illegal firearm recovered is one less gun that can be used in a shooting. Every drug trafficking organization dismantled represents fewer dangerous drugs on our streets. And every offender taken into custody makes this community safer for the families who live, work, and raise their children here. I especially wanted to thank the investigators, intelligence analysts, task force officers, prosecutors, and support personnel whose dedication made this investigation possible. Their professionalism, patience, and commitment to justice are what made this operation a success. I'd now like to introduce Jesse Halverson, Deputy State's Attorney's Office for Baltimore City.
Thank you. Good morning. And thank you, Special Agent Dorr, for the ATF's continued partnership. I'm Deputy State's Attorney Jesse Halverson, and I'm honored to be here today on behalf of Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. State's Attorney Bates has asked me to express his gratitude for the strong partnership our offices share with U.S. Attorney Kelly Hayes and the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Maryland. This partnership has never been stronger, and today's announcement is another example of what can be accomplished when federal, state, and local law enforcement work together with a shared commitment to protecting our communities. I also want to thank our prosecutors, Sam Mildenberg and Jeff Mailer, and I want to thank ATF Special Agent in Charge, Charles Dorr, IRS Assistant Special Agent in charge, Josh Barnhart, and Baltimore Police Deputy Commissioner Kevin Jones, for being here today and for the collaboration that made this investigation and these indictments possible. Every agency represented here brought unique expertise and resources to this effort. And together, we have delivered a unified response to criminal activity that has harmed Baltimore neighborhoods. Open-air drug markets do far more than facilitate the sale of illegal narcotics. They fuel violence, they invite illegal firearms to our communities, exploit vulnerable individuals struggling with addiction, and erode the quality of life for the residents and families who deserve to live in safe neighborhoods. They create environments where law-abiding citizens feel trapped on their own block, and that is simply unacceptable. On behalf of State's Attorney Bates, I want to be clear. When law enforcement agencies at every level work together, we can dismantle sophisticated criminal enterprises and hold those responsible accountable. These partnerships send a clear message that no single agency is fighting this battle alone. By combining our resources, intelligence, and commitment, we are making Baltimore safer for everybody. And really, thank you again to all of our federal, state, and local partners for their outstanding work on this investigation and for your continued dedication to the people of Baltimore. It is now my pleasure to introduce Baltimore Police Deputy Commissioner Kevin Jones.
Yo, the crazy thing about all of this
Commissioner Kevin Jones, Baltimore Police Department.
is don't nobody know how long this was going on, y'all. Like, even the whole situation with the paperwork and all that shit. I'm sure, yo, there's probably tons of paperwork. You feel me? Like, nobody knows to who level of cooperation. You know, anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody knows if those people may be the only cooperators. You feel me? I don't know, yo. This is crazy. This crazy, though. They should have said, yo, you do not want your name being mentioned in a federal investigation. You feel me? If them people ask about you, you know what time it is. I mean, it might be too late. A lot of times when it's too late, niggas just be like, fuck it anyway. They already coming. You feel me? But you should want to try to at least lessen the blow. You know what I mean? That's why I don't commit crimes, man. I go to work every day. You feel me? 12-hour shifts. Gotta stay the fuck out these people way, man. A lot of these niggas is older, too. Like, a lot of these niggas are too old to be going to motherfucking jail, man. Like, for real. Especially for something like this where you can sit down for 20 years, 15 years. Oh man, fuck that. They can have that shit.
Wish you I did not cheat off of
You know
any
the
of
fuck
the
I ain't.
messages, but my message was a lot
I
simpler
ain't
today,
nothing like those
right?
607
So, good morning and thank you.
Yeah, I
U.S.
heard
Attorney
about that.
James,
I think he's. I
ATF
think the
Special
witness
Agent
probably
Earl,
leaves Candy.
all of our law enforcement partners, the State's Attorney's
I talked
Office,
about that the
and
other
our
day.
task force officers in my
Yesterday.
Criminal Investigation Division. Today's announcement is yet another example of collaboration and shared mission of making our neighborhoods safer. These indictments represent more than just arrests. They represent to our community the dismantling of open-air drug markets that have impacted our city significantly, West Baltimore, for far too long. Open-air drug markets, as we know, and the groups that fuel them lead to violence far greater and create fear and diminish the quality of life for the residents who call those neighborhoods home. Our strategy is not
See, but
simply to
this
make
the
arrests,
thing, y'all.
but to
It's not gonna stop. See, this the thing. This is why I'm not one of them ones that be like, oh, you need to lock them up and da. Because locking them niggas up ain't stopping nothing. Nothing. The only way to stop crime, yo, is to open up doors. You understand what I'm saying? Only thing stop crime is opportunity, yo. And they should be aware of this by now. So no matter how many niggas you lock up, it's gonna be another shot wherever in another week. It's gonna be another team, another shot, because the environment is still there. You know, the structure of the environment is still there. So it don't matter how many people you lock up. And the reason I'm saying this is because they're painting this out like this is a win. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. Like they painting this out like this is a win. Look, we fixing the streets. No, the fuck you not. You don't fix the streets by locking niggas up. That don't change anything, man. Only thing changed is the next people that's coming up. But in order to stop crime, you gotta fix the environment that creates the crime. Other than that, yo, we just running in place. So they had these news conferences and press conferences, and they grandstand on these indictments. But it's like, bro, you ain't changed nothing. Nothing is gonna change. And I ain't just talking about this situation. I'm talking about every situation. You feel me? Every situation where they make these and get these indictments and talk about we cleaning up the streets and we're doing this and we're doing that. And it's like, bro, nothing is not going to change, yo. Ain't nothing going to change till you start giving niggas some fucking jobs, some resources, some rec centers. You understand? Give people something so they don't have to resort to the block. Or at least they don't feel like the block is even a valuable option. Put some jobs in the fucking community. Yo, I'm never going to be the one that praise arrest. Anybody that sit back and look at this type shit and be like, oh, that's good. It got... Yo, nothing's going to change. I don't know why y'all ain't nothing like 607. I was a character, bro. I ain't no character, y'all. I'm really me in real life. Like, he's playing a role. Yeah, updated books in schools. I mean, it's probably schools and cities still ain't got air conditioners. Like, yo, knock some of them abandoned buildings down. Put up, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what's something you can grandstand about that. Hold a press conference about that. But this shit right here, man, it ain't changing nothing, man. It's gonna be another group of niggas out that bitch in the next couple days. You heard me? So it gets to a point where all they're doing is damaging the community. You taking fathers. Some of these guys more than likely are active fathers, regardless of what they doing on the streets. They still got families and people that care about them. They still got kids that they're raising. So it's like, yo, y'all are not helping anything. Y'all just keeping the cycle going. It's gonna be another group of niggas that come up and go to jail. Another group of niggas that come up and go to jail. Like, yo, what are we doing? It's like, do Baltimore really want to solve crime? Or they just want to lock niggas up? You understand what I'm saying? What's the end game? Like, if I was to talk to Mayor Brandon Scott or any one of these, what is the end goal? Because locking niggas up never saw niggas been going to jail since the motherfucking 70s, 80s. So what are we doing? Like, well, like, do we have a game plan, or we just gonna send niggas to jail? Make more kids grow up fatherless. All they doing, yo, is damaging the community even more. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Disrupt and dismantle these crime organizations that sustain these markets. This investigation is a testament to the strength and continued partnership with our fellow law enforcement agencies and working alongside our communities. I want to acknowledge the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office and each agency represented here who contributed their expertise, time, and resources. These are complex investigations that require coordination, trust, and a shared commitment to public safety. These indictments also reflect the success of all of our partnerships.
Look,
Through focused enforcement with all of our law
yeah,
enforcement
man.
partners to work
They,
alongside
if they wanna put something on the news and clip it, put that shit on the news. Make that go viral. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want me talking like this to go viral. But they had me on. They put me on the news calling Sosa a rat. Yo, but what I just said was way more relevant and hold way more weight and is of more importance than anything I said in that motherfucking Sosa video. You feel me? And that video wasn't even about him ratting. That video was about a person who lacks morals, lacks principles, lacks integrity. A person that demonstrated over the course of however many years this went on that he was selfish and only cared about himself because he waited. He held all of this information in, and I'm not correlating that to this, even though it may be connected loosely. But he waited till he was in a fucked up situation. Forget everything that happened in all them other years. He waited till he was in a fucked up situation. And now he know everything. Now, fuck this nigga name. Where my phone at? Wendell. What the fuck am I? God, Wendell Boykins nickname. I think he said Tub or something. You feel me? I don't respect that shit, man. I don't. And I hate how they keep trying to paint this out, you know, these indictments out as like a win for the community, a win for the people. Because it wasn't about that. That video, when I called Sosa a rat in that first video, I was just letting people know that some paperwork out on Sosa. And from what I seen, Sosa's a rat. But the point of that video was way bigger than Sosa being a rat. If you looked at that video and all you got from it was Sosa was a rat, then we ain't on the same page. Because that video was way bigger than that. It wasn't just that Sosa told. It's the time. It's when he decided to tell. It's when he decided to tell, man. He waited until he ain't had no fight left in him. Now I got to get out of my situation. Sosa kept putting himself in situations, and other people had to pay for situations that he put himself in. That's a dirty motherfucker, man. I think those type of people don't deserve to be on the streets. They're the worst of the worst. A person that makes other people accountable for their bad decisions. I think they more of a threat to the society to any nigga just selling drugs. For real. Yo, we spoke on Baltimore. Well, we just spoke on Baltimore. I've been on YouTube for 5 years. I probably did over 100 videos about Baltimore and spoke about Baltimore on multiple different levels, about multiple different situations, from the economics to the school system to everything. You understand? I think we covered all grounds when it comes to Baltimore. But They decide to highlight, oh, so rat. No, y'all, want you highlight this and how this is not changing nothing. Let's highlight that instead of getting on the news grandstanding like you just made a change, like Pennsylvania Avenue is gonna be back in the like it's gonna be in the 50s again. No, y'all, you ain't changed nothing. All they doing is keeping the door revolving, the prison door, and that fractures the community, y'all. That's what you gotta understand. Niggas going to jail don't help the community. That shit fractures the community even more. Like I say, yo, some of these people are fathers, man. Regardless of what they doing. I ain't hear about no murders. I ain't hear about no murders in this situation. Yo, niggas turn to the streets for a lot of different reasons, y'all. And the only way to stop the streets is to make those different reasons obsolete. You understand what I'm saying? You got to address the different reasons why people choose the streets. Or why the streets choose people. However you want to look at it. Address those situations and then have a press conference. Now we talking. When you address the school system and how fucked up it is. And how No Child Left Behind devastated the urban community. How Baltimore City got 35 schools shut down. We ain't turned 10 of them into rec centers. Some almost over. Like, yo, it's so much that can be done. And they're not doing nothing. And they didn't convince us that locking people up is a way to fix the community. Like, you would be surprised about how many black people think that niggas going to jail helps the community. I'm trying to tell you. If I could put a percentage on it, I probably would say 75%. Maybe 90. Shit. That shit don't change nothing, man. Fix the environment, man. Fix the environment, man. Give people some motherfucking jobs, man. Bring some jobs closer to the fucking city. So for people that don't got a car and the job not on the bus line, they can fucking walk to work or bike to work or get there every day. Yo, let me tell you something, right? One of the things I noticed by moving out of Baltimore, right? You know, because Baltimore is dirty. Trash everywhere. Now, the average person will accumulate that to the people. It's the people's fault. Yo, but it's not the people's fault. It's the city fault. Because if the city was clean, people wouldn't throw trash outside like that. People wouldn't just throw trash out their windows like that. You change the environment before you change the people change over time, yo. You fix the environment first. We too busy in Baltimore and other urban cities across America are trying to attack the people. No, yo, the people change with the environment, yo. It's science. That's how science. That's what science is. A controlled experiment. You put a motherfucking mouse in a motherfucking cage, and you can control the environment. You can dictate which way the mice gonna go. They say at one point everybody in the world had color. White people became they lost pigment in their skin by moving to Asia. Over time, what did it do? They got lighter. People change with the environment. It's not the other way around. Like we out this bitch moving backwards. Change the environment, you change the people. Just like if you change your mind, you change your life. Can't change your life first without changing your mind, man. It's the same concept.
As service partners, we continue to see historic reductions in gun violence across our city and state. Those reductions are only possible because of the collective work of everyone involved, our law enforcement partners, our city agencies, our community organizations, and our faith leaders. And most importantly, the residents who continue to work with us to reclaim their neighborhoods.
It's about all animals, yo. You know, animals all adapt to their environment, yo. You got chameleons and shit. You know, you got animals, you got porcupines, you know, because the environment they in, they prey. They prey. So that's why they got pines to protect them for the prey, because that's their only defense. It's just nature. That's how life works. But for some reason, when we dealing with the black community, all the science goes out the window. Everything we have known and learned about science go out the window when we talking about black people. Hey Kevin, obviously you must don't know me. Like I ain't never had a day in my life from nobody. I just in the city motherfucking last week. The fuck want me to call you? Want me to hit you next time I come down that bitch? Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You tripping. Hit me on Instagram. I will call you next time I come in the city.
Finally, I want to recognize the outstanding work of the men and women of the Baltimore Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division. This takedown is a direct reflection of their professionalism, dedication, and relentless investigative work of our homicide section and our detectives throughout our Criminal Investigation Division. From our detectives and intelligence analysts to our patrol officers and specialized units who participated in this investigation and takedown, their hard work and dedication made today's announcement possible. We remain committed to using every available tool to dismantle violent drug trafficking organizations, reduce gun violence, and make Baltimore a better place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
Thank you. I thought
All right.
Earl, if you could
Yeah,
elaborate
no problem.
more about how this whole thing started with gun violence.
I'll be right on your road.
Sure. So,
Niggas
like I
insane
said,
me.
we use a multitude of different, intelligence factors to look at neighborhoods in the city that are, seeing an extreme use of gun violence. So again, like let's get information from our NIBIN, integrated National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, which is NIBIN. But we use intelligence of Baltimore.
Well, Kevin is just a hater, because you can tell what type of nigga he is. He one of them niggas that's just in the way. You know what I mean? One of them in the way ass niggas. I ain't never been a nigga just in the way, yo. Everywhere I went, I added value to the neighborhood. You feel me? No matter what kind of value it was value. Kevin is the type of guy, based off him hating for no reason. He don't have morals and principles or integrity or anything like that. You know what I mean? He the type of nigga that try to fuck with his homeboy and baby mother while he locked up. Yo, because I be in the city. The fuck is you talking about? Like, ask around. I be in the city. And I'm born and raised in Baltimore. My whole life. You talking about? How long you think I've been out of town, yo? Fuck around be the police. I know they watching. You the police, Kevin? What I'm doing right now is add value. I can tell by your comments. Well, what you? Why are you talking stuck in the? What I say wrong to you, yo? What so see your mind? you like what? What did I say for you to start coming at me this way, yo? No, I am going to entertain it, because you need to address people like him. What did I say for you to respond to me the way you responded? You feel me? Like, obviously, you got some type of animosity or anger or frustration or hate, or you dealing with something internally. You How you fuck around be the police? You deal with something internally for you to come over here and do that. Everything I said was positive. Everything I said made sense. I'm talking about bettering the community, not this shit. They on TV right now, grandstanding because they made an arrest. Like somehow this is going to stop anything. It's not going to stop nothing. It ain't never stopped nothing. There probably been 1,000 indictments. it probably been 1,000 indictments in Baltimore since motherfucking 1990. And the streets ain't changed. But they continuously, with every indictment, they get on the news and they get all the guys together. They get all the guys together and they motherfucking and they do this. And it's like, yo, what are we doing? We just gonna run in place forever? What I'm talking about trying to make things better. This ain't making nothing better. Of course, motherfuckers gonna go to jail. You feel me? That goes without saying. But this can't be the end all be all. It gotta be a end to a means. This is just a means to an end. I mean, a means to an end. This is just an end to a means, man. You feel me? This ain't changing nothing. Probably is somebody hating, man. But you know, you gotta address the trolls, yo, especially the Baltimore ones, yo, because I speak proud and highly of Baltimore. I support everybody from Baltimore. You don't understand how people like me, y'all posted my own paperwork. He probably the police, man. Posted my own paperwork, y'all.
These neighbors that are really focused on violent crime, if we get in there and we start working with our partners to start mitigating that violence.
It makes that obvious. Like, were you invited in by the Baltimore City Police Department, and what resources did you add to?
They're a joint task force with us, so they are embedded with us over at our office, and so they've been there for years with us. So.
On that note, you talk about the violence in the drug case. Is this considered like a first
Yeah, they want it this way. You know, because if they really wanted change, they can make change, yo. Like, they act like some of these cities, not even just Baltimore, but some of these urban environments, they act like this is fucking Mission Impossible. It ain't Mission Impossible, man. It ain't.
I would say this is, with any investigation, there's probably going to be some threads that we'll pull afterwards, but yes, this is, I would say, still ongoing after this point.
I'm sorry if I missed it, but this might be through you, Chihuahua. How was Interval involved
I couldn't see any details to that. Yeah, no, the Interval was great with us, and they helped us on the takedown phase of this operation and some surveillance as well in the county.
Any additional questions? Yes, sir.
I heard you mention the word supervisor. Would you characterize the type of individuals involved in this particular endeavor?
Certainly. So there are, with any drug trafficking organization, you're going to have built-in
I'll promote the
hierarchies.
Democrats.
We believe that Walter Epps was one of the overseers of the open air market, so more of a managerial.
Yo, so Kevin, what do you
supervisory role.
disagree with? Let's talk to Kevin, because he got. What did I say that you disagree with? Let's start there, y'all. Not no wild fucking assaults. What do you disagree with? Let's listen to Kevin. What you disagree with, chat? On here acting like a news reporter. Yo, what I did could have possibly prepared these guys for this if they was paying attention. So I'm not understanding what you're saying. So you would rather uh, you rather white people speak on the black community than your own people. Is that what you're saying, Kevin? You would rather white people speak on the black community. Yo, Baltimore street politics on the internet. Yo, you're not even making sense. You don't, yo, do you understand what happened? So you would rather a person be locked up mentioning all these people names and niggas not know? Kevin? Is that what you're saying? You would rather this person be talking, saying all these people names behind closed doors and niggas just don't know. Is that what you're saying? I'm asking you, no, I asked you a specific question, yo. That's what you would rather it that way? Because if you from the streets, because you keep talking about the Baltimore streets, you should be happy with the fuck out. You should be happy about the situation. So you can't be from Baltimore streets saying that. Anybody from Baltimore streets would have been happy to know. I know if my name was being mentioned behind closed doors, I would fucking want to know. And the motherfucker exposed it, man. Hell yeah, yo, shit, good looking. I had no clue. I'm out here living my day-to-day life, going to work, picking my kids up, hustling on the side, and you got this motherfucker mentioning me in interrogation rooms? Man, you tripping, boy. You must be the police, nigga. I don't know. You got to be the police. You from Greenmount, bro. You ain't even from down there, bro. You ain't even from Old West, nigga.
The next under the hierarchy would have the next layer of co-conspirators, and they had various roles, also in a supervisory type capacity. As mentioned in the indictment and here today, they frequently worked to re-up the drugs when they were sold out. They collected the money and counted the money to ensure that the funds were there. On occasions, if necessary, they would also be the ones actually...
He could possibly be involved in this. Possibly. The fuck, man, you tripping.
Selling the drugs if a customer's there and there wasn't someone lower than them
these
in
names,
the hierarchy.
These names was mentioned. At least two of them. Two of the guys that they're saying is the leaders was mentioned in that paperwork. And this is another thing people gotta understand too, yo. Yeah, I don't have no direct knowledge or no direct connection to nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So I seen people in the comments, yo, get a lawyer. Yo, I didn't do anything wrong. I report the news. Anybody that reports the news, whether it be me or Fox 45 or Baltimore Sun, if they was to somehow get their hands on some news that nobody knows about, yo, they're gonna release it, man. And it's not illegal to do it. The only way it would have been illegal is if I knew somebody involved in the situation. I got this, however this shit got to me, it was direct, which means it came from whoever to me, or it came from whoever to me. Yo, I didn't do nothing wrong, yo. I ain't break no laws, man. You made it known hot now. Shake my head. Niggas can't even touch me if they want to because you running your mouth. Yo, you're not even you can't be from the streets, bro. Ain't no way you from the streets. Ain't no way. I'm not even responding to you no more. That made absolutely zero sense. Yeah, that made zero sense, bro. Obviously, we're not on the same level intellectually. Yeah, man, I ain't even responding to him no more. Yo, nobody. What you mean? Let the street vendors stay in the streets? You think these? You think these people knew their names was being mentioned in Alabama? Not even making sense, bro. You just talking. You just angry for some reason. What you? That's your brother or something, cousin? Fuck, you related to that nigga, man? The fuck is you talking about? If Fox 45 would have released it, would you have inboxed them and told them that? Yo, let street shit stay in the streets. Like, yo, people, yo, like, I be tripping off motherfuckers like that. Yo, like, I would much rather my own people speak on us than these guys. Least when I do it, it's a message in it. Whenever niggas do it, ain't no message in it. You say Trap Lord Ross did it. I don't even fuck with y'all. I seen most of them niggas stayed away from it. You know they don't fuck with me. No, I ain't seen no Trap Lord Ross. They don't fuck with me, yo. But that just proved that they don't fuck with me. Cause I'm sure they all seen it. It wasn't no Adam 22 post, no post from Vlad, no Sechi. They don't fuck with me, yo, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with them either. So I didn't expect none of them to pick it up. I didn't expect none of them to pick it up. But yeah, Kevin, he the police, man. He trying to get me to motherfucking implicate myself in the crime or something. You feel me? I ain't stupid, yo. I ain't make it to 40 being dumb. Oh, alright. Okay. So he did it in Christian Rock video.
So yes, so it was a typical with any organization, a typical drug trafficking organization.
Characterize them as a street level, mid level, that's what I was going.
Understood. So, in this case, there was a focusing on the open air drug markets. We would certainly say that the street level operation, you certainly had co-conspirators there, the ones on the street, who actually were the ones, transacting with the drugs. But we also have within the hierarchy, including individuals charged in this indictment, which I would describe more as mid-level.
Since the mass overdose incident there last year, there's been a number of arrests and indictments announced. I guess two questions. Does this group have any ties to that event, potentially? And separately, does that just speak to how pervasive drug dealing is in that area?
So, we're going to follow the leads wherever they go. This particular investigation, the Assistant Special Agent in charge of ATF started with leads and drug violence, gun and drug-related violence that specifically permitted us to target that area of Baltimore City. However, and this began in December, that's where, as Assistant Special Agent in charge, we were able to then focus our resources in that, and we sent in undercovers, special confidential informants, and then the investigation led where it led from there. Yes.
As a result of the mass overdose event in Penn, the Scott administration put out Narcan in multiple subway stations in the area.
Yeah, Kevin, you tripping, bro. Like, yeah, I don't think we on the same level, yo. We couldn't even have a conversation in real life, bro. Like, there's no way that we wouldn't even be able to talk in real life. Like, not even off the internet. Because, like, you're making zero sense. And in your mind, you're making all the sense. You feel me? You probably the only one of the comments that agrees with what you're saying. You say, how am I the police when you on here talking about murders and showing news clips? Now that would make sense if I was to talk about something I know. You know what I mean? I know Yo did Joe, and ain't nobody arrested for it. Yeah, I'm talking about cases that's motherfucking cases. You feel me? Fucking public information, bro. I ain't even say everything. I ain't even say everything I know about Sosa in that video. Yeah, yo. So you tripping, man?
And are those being utilized?
For that, I will turn it over to Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner Jones.
Yeah, so yes, anytime that you have a substance that can counteract the effects of fentanyl, it works, right? Even if it's one life. But we do know that, or since the incident previously with the mass overdose,
I don't know if it's the biggest.
not only city.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that South Philly.
Residents, but the city itself has been giving out the Narcans. They've been giving out the Narcan packets. Even as late as last night, I was in the Rock the Block in Fillmore Street, and they're giving it out to the community because having it readily available and giving that messaging to our community for those individuals who still choose to use that, having it available does make a difference. And we have been seeing that in the reduction in some of the overdoses.
Are we able to
Look.
trace the source?
Nothing's gonna change, man. And that was the whole point of this video. Like, they over here grandstanding like they struck gold and Baltimore, Pennsylvania Avenue gonna change. And it ain't. Yeah, he tripping, man. I wasn't gonna say that on live, but if you know, you know. Like, I know how I seen videos on Kensington. And yeah, that shit crazy. But it's a little bit different in Baltimore, bro. Yeah, man. There might be a few of them bitches. Yeah, I know that shit sad. Because they don't care, yo. They use a lot of cities like Baltimore and others. Like, Baltimore is a test city. Like, they use Baltimore to test their new crime fighting tools. Like, we was the first ones that had spot shotters. Baltimore had spot shotters in like 2012. We was the first city that had the plane flying around the city taking pictures. I just seen something the other day. Kane. I think I saved it. Yo, a lot of, and let me tell you something that they get away with too in the urban environment. They use crime to do it. Yo, these white people in like some of these other communities, yo, they would never allow their community to be surveilled. Yeah, man, they would never allow that, bro. They would never allow some of these cities surveillance, 24 hours. Man, fuck no, they ain't doing that. So let me show y'all what Kane said. So I think Kane is the mayor somewhere. In California. I think I saved it. And I'm going to show y'all what he had to say. That's the lady that be talking about dirt. I hope I saved it. Hope I fucking saved it. We gotta talk about Dr. Fauci too, yo. We gotta discuss him. Here you go. Listen to this. Glen Knox, Tennessee, calls for flat cameras to be immediately removed from the city. Listen to him.
This is Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs. Today I am urging our commission to prohibit the use of flock cameras and similar devices in our county. For those of you who don't know, these cameras, technically called automated license plate readers, are motion activated and take a picture of every vehicle which passes by. While license plate readers have been around for a while, Because of AI and vastly
them cameras
increased
in there.
networking and data retention capacities, these flock cameras have capabilities not even imagined in the past. Older cameras only took a photo of your license plate, which was then retained for a short time. Flock cameras take a photo of your plate, but also use AI to catalog distinguishing features of your vehicle: make, color, model, even bumper stickers. That data is stored in a searchable database for sometimes up to a month or more, depending on the policies of that particular agency. When these cameras are deployed in large numbers, they create a network that can be used to track your movements. Currently, there is no federal regulatory framework governing these devices in place, and the Tennessee laws regulating them were written over a decade ago. My fear is that we may be inadvertently creating a warrantless mass surveillance system
Look,
and undermining the privacy and liberty of our people.
he's right. See, this is what white America worries about. But they tricked our community by saying, you know, it's a crime problem. Yeah, but nobody knows what them cameras is really catching. Nobody knows really the capacity of those cameras. And we do have rights, you know. They don't have the right to spy on you, man. But they get away with it in our community by saying this is a high crime area.
So I urge the Tennessee General Assembly and the United States Congress to look at this issue and take necessary action to safeguard our privacy and civil liberties as these new technologies continue to emerge. Thank you. Hello.
They're never allowed it. Yeah, they're never allowed it. Because they're more worried about our rights and our liberties, you know, in the Constitution and, you know, what we was promised, you know, what they supposed to do, what they promised us versus what, you know, they're allowed to do. It ain't really about no motherfucking crime. Fuck the crime, man. I'm much more worried about y'all spying on us than anything. That's a crime in itself. That might be the biggest crime. You understand? That shit 24/7. That's a crime that keeps on going. You understand? So I just wanted to share that with y'all, because I thought that was interesting. You know, because I've been saying things like that online for however long now. And I don't know. I don't think people realize how much of a problem that is. And I seen it the last time you said it, Kevin. I'm not pulling up on you, bro. I have no interest in pulling up on 24 from Greenmount, man. I ain't gonna lie. I just rode up and down Greenmount. Fuck, I was in Baltimore last weekend. Going to cafe, what was that, 1908. You feel me? Yeah, man, they can cut crime if they want to. Right, mass surveillance is no good for anyone. It ain't. It ain't. But like I said, they trick black people by saying, you know, this is gonna help solve crime. And like I said, Baltimore is a test city for their new tools. So they need a certain level of crime to continue in Baltimore, because this is how we test our stuff. Like, y'all remember this? Well, I told y'all spot shotters. Baltimore was the first city to get spot shotters. We was the first city to have that plane. Look, yeah, you dumb. We was the first city that had that plane flying around. Remember that plane that was flying around the city taking pictures and shit? Man, they'd have never allowed that shit in motherfucking Wyoming. You heard me? Man, fuck that. You ain't allow no plane to just fly around and take no motherfucking pictures. That shit dead. Check out Mouse Utopia. The experiment was made in Baltimore. I believe it. You know, I believe it. And why would I ride up and down Greenmount? What I'm banned from Greenmount? Are you banning me from Greenmount, Captain? Look, Nightbot on your ass. Better stop putting them emojis. They rapping down Greenmount, nigga. What are you talking about, bro? I'm just saying. I just use that. Well, I see why you not in the city. I just use that as an example, yo. Omaha, Nebraska would never allow it. You know, it's crime in Nebraska. You know, they'll never allow that. What I'm saying in a predominantly white city, even with crime being a problem, they'll never allow that shit, yo. They'd be too busy worried about constitutional rights. I don't know, Trey. Kevin is tripping, man. Kevin said I'm banned from Greenmount, yo. He said I told him I just voted up and down Greenmount. He said I was lying, yo. Like somehow, like I can't do it or something. Like I don't know. You gotta ask Kevin, yo. Yo, this is crazy, yo. Yo, I gotta work tomorrow, yo. I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Hey, Kevin, next time I ride up and down Greenbelt, man. I hope I see you, yo. Yeah, I mean, just be like, yo, this me, Kevin. I'm gonna pull straight over and holler at you, yo, because obviously you got some shit on your mind or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. But, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. So, another day, QG News. Hit them up.